$530 billion wiped out March 28, 2026. The United Arab Emirates did something no one had imagined. All residence permits of Iranian citizens were cancelled. Even the golden visas, the visas that promised residency for 99 years. No explanation. No notice. No court. According to the Iranian news agency Tasnim, the UAE seized Iranian assets worth approximately $530 billion. Presidential diplomatic advisor Anwar Gargash went further, demanding that Iran pay war reparations to Gulf states. Pause for a moment. Read that number again. $530 billion. Iran's pre-war GDP was around $350 billion. Its annual revenue was roughly $45 billion. That means this amount exceeds 12 years of Iran's income. If Tasnim's estimate is accurate, it would be the largest peacetime financial seizure ever imposed on a country. Yes, the figure can be questioned. Many analysts have called it exaggerated. But the Wall Street Journal had already reported on March 6 that the UAE was considering freezing billions of dollars in Iranian assets. 3 weeks later, consideration turned into action. Iranian Emirates. And what happened? The measures began on March 27. At first, visas of Iranians who were outside the country were cancelled. Iranian diaspora social media exploded. Families reported receiving visa-cancelled notifications while the primary visa holder was abroad in Abu Dhabi and Ras Al Khaimah. Some Iranians were given 24 hours to 1 week to leave. By Friday, March 28, the scope widened. Now all Iranians outside the country were being stripped of residency, including company owners, property holders, and golden visa holders. There was no official announcement. On paper, everything appeared normal. In reality, cancellations continued silently, a familiar Gulf strategy used previously during the 2017 Qatar diplomatic crisis. But this time, the scale was completely different. The trigger: Iranian attacks. Since February 28, Iran has launched hundreds of missiles and thousands of drones toward the UAE. By late March, Emirati officials reported intercepting hundreds of ballistic missiles and over 1,800 drones. Wikipedia debris still fell into cities. Damage was reported near Dubai International Airport, Palm Jumeirah, and areas around Burj Al Arab. A Pakistani citizen was killed in Abu Dhabi, and more than 170 people of multiple nationalities were injured. Wikipedia officials described the attacks as terrorism and warned Iran that the consequences would extend beyond the battlefield. The National A three-layer strategy. This move is not just punishment. It is strategy with 3 layers. First layer, financial warfare. Iran has long used the UAE as a gateway to bypass sanctions, shell companies, trade routing, and access to foreign currency. Freezing assets shuts that corridor. Second layer, political signaling. The UAE is telling Iran that attacking its territory will carry not only military but also economic consequences. Citizens, businesses, and assets are all at stake. Third layer, legal precedent. The most dangerous layer. Golden visas were marketed globally as a guarantee: invest and receive long-term residency. Now that promise has been revoked unilaterally, without explanation, without court, without compensation. Legal experts say challenges are unlikely to succeed under national security provisions. The human tragedy: many Iranians living in the UAE are actually opponents of the Iranian government. They fled Tehran's system, spoke against it, and built new lives abroad. Now they are being expelled. If they return to Iran, they must face the very regime they opposed. These people have effectively become stateless, belonging neither here nor there. Iran's response: Iran reportedly cancelled visas of around 1,200 Emirati citizens. But the scale is incomparable. Hundreds of thousands of Iranians live in the UAE, while Emiratis in Iran are few. A war that has changed. Until now, the war was military. Missiles, drones, airstrikes. Now it has become economic. Assets frozen, visas revoked, reparations demanded. If other Gulf states follow the same path, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Iran's financial network in the region could collapse. The bigger message: when bombs fall, buildings collapse. When visas are cancelled, lives collapse. Bombs are loud. Visa cancellations are silent. But the destruction is just as real, sometimes worse. Because after a bombing, people rebuild together. After a visa cancellation, a person stands alone. A warning for others, including Pakistan. This situation also highlights how vulnerable migrant-dependent countries are. If millions of Pakistani workers were suddenly expelled from Gulf states, countless households would lose their income overnight. A country is only truly safe when rights are guaranteed, when law protects you as a citizen, not merely hosts you as a guest. Europe showed this to Russians in 2022. The EU has shown it to Iranians today. Tomorrow it could be someone else's turn. The final thought: real investment is in your own country, your own soil, your own system. Everything else is sand. Beautiful sand. Shining sand. But still sand. And if even your own country's system turns into sand, then where does a person go?